Hello and welcome to my channel Making Crafts. Today I'm going to be using the Ephemera from Stamperia, and this is the Rose Perfume collection. And these ephemera pieces are more like cardstock. They're thicker. I'm not sure that they're chipboard. It says 300 GR. I don't know what that means. But these have adhesive on the back of them. So you just have a little sheet on the back that you can pull off, and then you can stick these to cards and different things. So today though, I'm going to be making charms using this pack of ephemera. And so I'm going to make charms for the Midori cover that we made last week using the fabric from Stamperia. And so I've gone ahead and picked out 3 different pieces that I want to use for my charms. And this is a very quick and simple project. And so I know last week we had a pretty large project making this cover. So I thought this week, let's do a simpler project, something that we can do quickly. So for these, you're going to need something to punch the hole. So I have a little smile hole punch that I've had for years, but if you don't have one, you could use your awl or anything like that just to put a little hole in it for your jump ring. So for each one, you just want to decide how you want it to hang, and you want to punch the hole in the top of it where you can put your jump ring. So for this little perfume, I think this is a perfume bottle. So just for this little perfume bottle, I am going to just punch a little hole in the top of it. Now be careful when you punch your hole. Don't punch too close to the edge because, you know, it'll rip. But we're going to fix these so that they are strong enough to be charms and not rip later on. But you don't want to do it yet, because if you rip it now, I don't know that it could be fixed to be a charm. So I'm going to use this little flower, and I'm just going to punch another little hole in it. And it does want to get stuck onto my hole punch. And then for this one, I'm not sure how I want it to hang. So before I punch a hole in it, I'm just going to lay it on my cover and see what direction I think that I want it to hang once it's complete. And then I'll just punch a hole in it as well. So now that we have the holes punched, I'm just going to cover these with Glossy Accents. And like I told you, this is a very quick project, very simple project. But sometimes, you know, you can look at things differently. You may look at this ephemera pack and think that it's just for putting on cards or just putting in journals or mini albums, and you don't think of the other options. And so I just wanted to show you another option on how you could use these ephemera pieces. So I'm just going to go through and cover the tops of each one of these with the Glossy Accents, and then I will let it dry overnight. Now, if you want to, you could cover the fronts and backs of these. I've decided that I'm just going to cover the fronts because I think that's going to give it enough strength that it doesn't rip or tear through the charms, because I'm going to be pretty gentle with it. Now, if you're going to be putting it down in your pocketbook or your tote bag and you're going to be toting it around with you, you may want to coat both sides so that you can make sure that it is strong enough that it's not going to get torn in your bag. So I am doing a really good thick coating on the fronts of these. And when you do the coating, just be sure that you don't cover your hole that you just punched. I think that if you did, you probably could re-punch it afterwards, but I'm not really sure how hard this would be to punch through. So I'm just trying to be gentle around the hole and make sure that I don't fill in my holes that I've already punched. And I did come back with one of them and just take the awl and clean out the hole just a little bit when I got a little bit down in it. So you just want to keep the hole open so that you can put your jump rings in it. So I've let these dry about 24 hours. So I did these one evening, and the next evening I'm coming back to work with them. And you can see they're very shiny on the front, and I think that this really thickens it up and helps protect it as a charm. Now for the backs, I'm going to go ahead and pull the sticky off of the backs. But I want to show you how I do these types of things when I don't want them to be stickers any longer. I keep a little tub of cornstarch at my desk, and so I just take a little bit of cornstarch and I just rub it over the backs of each of the little stickers like this. And so by doing that, it takes the sticky away. So now if you wanted to, you could go back and you could add your Glossy Accents to the back side. But for me, I don't think that, mine's just going to stay at my desk, so I don't think that it's going to get a lot of wear and tear. So I'm not going to worry about it. But like I said before, if you're going to be putting it in your tote bag or in your pocketbook, then you may want to cover the back with some Glossy Accents. And it's really simple just to add this cornstarch, and then you can just rub it really good and get all the cornstarch back off, and it just takes the sticky away. And you probably could use some baby powder as well, but the cornstarch doesn't have any odor to it. It doesn't, leave anything behind. So I like using it to just get rid of the sticky on the back of these. Then all we have left to do is to add our jump rings. So if you haven't tied your Midori cover shut yet, you can just go ahead and just add the jump rings and slide them onto your elastic or your little elastic cord, and then tie your elastic cord shut. But for me, I'd already tied mine. So what I'm going to do is just go back and I'm going to attach mine to the cord using the jump rings. I'm not going to do it separate. I could have untied this, but I decided I'll just hang them on the front here. So it's no big deal just to attach it with the jump rings onto the cord. And so I wanted these a specific way. I wanted the big flower and then the little bottle of perfume and then the little flower. And so they can just kind of hang over top of each other. Now the jump rings is probably the hardest part for me because my hands are so shaky, and I do have that finger I broke last year, and it has never came back to being absolutely normal. So I do struggle with jump rings. Typically in our shop we do make jewelry, and I do the hand stamping and things like that, but my husband always does the jump rings. But for this video I wanted to show you how to just simply add the jump rings to your cover. So it is fairly simple. So here is the completed charms, and I really love how they turned out. I think it really dresses up the front of my journal cover, and I think it'll be fun using my journal. Now you can make these and use them in charms on your other journals as well. I like to add charms to my handmade journals that I create, my junk journals and different things, and these would work great on that as well. And I love these ephemera pieces. They are a bit thicker than your normal ephemera pieces, like the fussy cuts that you normally cut out, and so I do like the thickness of them. And there's so many in this pack. So I wanted to show you, I made a card 2 weeks ago, and I showed it on the Rubber Buggy site, but I did not show it on my channel. And so this little card was made using the Magnolia stamp, and then I added the ephemera pieces from this pack. The flowers are ephemera pieces from the pack, and then the paper is the rose perfume paper. So that was just another little project using these ephemera pieces. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.